I'm Em and this is Happy Crafting. One of my favourite things about crafting is you can make a project out of literally anything. So I have found a really fun way to repurpose the stuff I already had. We eat a lot of ice cream in my house, and it comes in such a cool shaped tub that I thought it'd be a really good idea to repurpose this into a snazzy planter. So the plaster comes out nicely, we're just going to brush on a little bit of Vaseline. There we go. Now, time for the plaster. Remember, don't fill it up all the way, it will spill out later. To create the void for the plant, I'm just using this lid. I've also Vaselined this. Just going to smoosh that in there. I'm just adding the rocks to keep it at the right level. Stay. When it's done drying, it's time to remove it from the pot. Just take that out and carefully pop this out of the tub. Now it's time to decorate. I've mixed some ink powder with the plaster and I'm just going to spread it over a stencil. Okay, just carefully lift that off. And we'll do this on all the other sides. And there we go, we'll just let that dry. And there we go! A planter made from an ice cream tub. I knew eating all that ice cream was a good idea. I just have to think of some uses for the rest of the tubs. I've been watching way too many period dramas lately, and one thing that always sticks in my mind is the fantastic sculpture galleries. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually have, the space or the finances to have a real one, but I thought I could make my very own mini one using one of these. A few of you might actually remember her from before. We had a good time. And as promised, I have found a great use for the rest of her. We're going to turn her into a classic looking sculpture. But first, we need to remove the rest of those arms. We're using these wire cutters this time. Way quicker than the saw. Just cut that off there. I want a bit more of a pose, so we're just going to try some minor knee surgery. There we go. We'll just tape that back in place. Now to help with the sculpted look, we're going to have to remove all of this hair. Just going to cut that off. Really is a lot of it. More reasons I shouldn't be a hairdresser. Now it's time for some epoxy putty. Just going to mix that together until it's one uniform colour and then smush it onto our doll. There we go. We're just going to sculpt up here. We're also going to use it to build up the rest of the body. There we are. Just use a bit of water to smooth it out. And a little blob for the eyes. Now, for her plinth, we're going to use this soap dish. To hold our statue in place, we're going to use this epoxy glue. Just spread that around. There we go. Mixy, mixy, mixy. And stick in our doll. You might want to tape her in place until she dries. Once everything is dry, it's toga time. So we can sculpt it, I'm soaking the fabric in some glue first. And just lay it over the doll. We're going to build up some really nice wrinkles in the fabric. Once you're happy with your toga shape, it's time for some paint. Okay, just plop that on there. Doop, doop, doop. And there we are. My tiny gallery dreams are coming true. I'm so proud of this. She came out so good. And sculpting on Barbies is so much fun. Like any reasonable adult, I have a secret desire to, just become a fairy. Unfortunately, as science is yet to catch up on this, I thought I could live my fairy dreams through the power of crafting instead. I'm going to make my very own giant glowing flower lamp using an old pair of tights. Hopefully there's not too many holes in this pair. We're going to start by cutting the tights into sections. There we go, just cut the top and bottom off there. Now to create our petal shape, we're using some wire. Just twist that together and squeeze at the top to give it that petal look. Time to thread on the tights. Now to hold it in place, we're just going to use some double-sided tape. Just pop that up there. Peel it all off. Stick on both sides and cut away any excess. Okay, we'll just take that away. And we'll just clean up this edge as well. There we go. Starting to look like a petal now. Once you made a whole bunch of these, I think I've gone for about 8. It's time to add some colour. I'm using a hot dye bar. You are definitely going to want gloves for this one. We're just going to dunk that in there. Once you're happy with the colour, pull it out and rinse it in some cold water. And then leave them to dry. To help cover the join of the petals, we're going to use this little pot. I'm just going to cut the top off here and highlight all the spikes. There we go. And a nice little ombre greeny going on here. Hopefully I'll make it look like it's just one plant. The stalk of my lamp is white, so I'm going to blend it down into a white. Okay, just mix that on there. A crucial part of our flower light is the lamp. I've chosen this one because it looks the most like a flower stem, and also it's LED, so I don't have to worry about it overheating. Once everything's dry, it's time to attach it all together. Start by twisting the base of the petals round. Probably want to start with your smallest ones first. Then keep adding petals in a similar way. To cover the head of the lamp, I'm just twisting these 3 together. And just add a bunch of hot glue here. And here's our little connector. So magical! It works so well! It's definitely giving off those enchanted fairy vibes. The only problem is now resisting the urge to fill my entire house with them. I wonder how big I could go. It's been so much fun repurposing all of this old stuff. If you guys try any of these or any of your own crazy creations, we'd love to see them. And remember, if you want to see more of this, comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. But till next time, happy crafting!